They already had them in order. Iran is towards the end, but they had a list, not over conflicts that took place, but conflicts that that they just magically knew were going to take place. And so, without the audio being doubled, thank you for catching that, by the way. I want to make sure that we listen to that again because there's a ton of stuff in there that I can't even imagine a former president would even let come out of his mouth.
I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me, and one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, "No." He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper. He said, I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today. And he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, "Is it classified?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, don't show it to me."
And that's something that is just laughed at. It's just laughed at. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that this is something that happened that nobody had outrage over. Or nobody even went back to and said, "Now, wait a second." They said we were good at taking over countries and we were going to destroy these countries in 5 years. So we have a plan, even though the plan doesn't involve doing what America's supposed to do, being the security or whatever we've claimed that that's what we do. It's amazing.